Welcome to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. This show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate every single Friday. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're tuning in over on Facebook or YouTube. We've got the live chat loaded up. Let me know in the chat if you're tuning in, if you could hear everything okay. Audio should be coming through good, but not just whole lot of point to me just up here waving my hands around. So let me know if you could hear me, and let me know where you're that you are, not just physically, but where are you in this stage? Do you already have a real estate license and you're maybe thinking, okay, is this Realtor MLS something new? Is this different than the MLS I'm a member of? Maybe, depending on the MLS it is that you have. Or maybe you've got no idea even what the MLS is. Maybe just a vague idea. So I'm getting the chats loaded up right now for Facebook, for YouTube. So if you're live, let me know you're tuning in, where you're tuning in from, where you're at, what you're hoping to see today about the MLS system, and the reason why agents on a regular basis, really pretty much any real estate professional that practices real estate is a member of some MLS. Now, if you're just earning referral fees, you really don't need an MLS access. But if you want to be able to sell real estate, if you don't want to negotiate every last single commission agreement, there's thousands of commission agreements pre-negotiated waiting for you in the MLS. So that's what we're going to be diving in today. I'm going to be showing the screen of the MLS actually right here live. So you'll actually be able to see my actual live login to one of the MLSs I am a member of. I'm actually a member of several different MLSs. We're going to be looking at Stellar MLS today. So if you're in the central Florida-ish region, this is actually the largest geographic MLS here in Florida. That's going to be looking at today. So let me know in the chat if you've got any questions, anything it is that you're hoping to see. Hopefully everything's coming through. My name is John Carismo, and you're watching State of Real Estate. You're watching State of Real Estate. All right, so yeah, in this time here, hopefully we'll be able to switch the cameras here because this is being weird, but no cool intro today, so I'll just have to
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. How to grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. All right, welcome back. I don't know what the computer's doing today, but it seems like we're back in business. So welcome in. Welcome to everybody tuning in on Facebook as well as YouTube here. Thank you, Lacey, for letting me know we're coming good clear on Facebook. We were fed up with having audio issues and having something where you can't hear, so we want to make sure everything comes through crystal clear. Because look, there's a lot of stuff we're going to be showing today. But if all you could do is see this, and that's what's cool about like YouTube and Facebook and whatnot, they do those automated closed captions. Maybe you can't really have the audio going. Maybe you're tuning in at work. Maybe you're a secret real estate agent because you're kind of doing this on the side, or you're planning to do this on the side. Like I said, if you're tuning in, let me know not just where it is that you're coming from, where you're tuning in from, but again, where you're at in this process. Do you know nothing about the MLS? Do you want me to go super basic today, or do you have some more in-depth questions that you want to find out about this MLS system? And let's get started with just some basics before I actually show the real MLS here. So what does MLS stand for? It stands for the Multiple Listing Service. The Multiple Listing Service. And you, as a real estate professional, can be a subscriber to the MLS. Now, in order to subscribe to the MLS, in most cases, you'll need to be a member of an association of realtors. And for example, don't quote me on this, but back in May, I paid the renewals for my Stellar MLS membership, which is the one I'm about to show you, and it's usually about $400 or so every May. That's at least how Stellar MLS works, which is the one we'll be showing today, which again is the largest in Florida as far as geographic goes. It covers the most area. Now, why does this MLS exist? Because with things like Zillow, now the MLS does predate Zillow. It predates basically the internet. It doesn't predate electricity, but it was coming out right around the same time. So you might be saying, well, John, what are you talking about? Electricity? How did they have an MLS on computers when they were just first getting electricity? Well, there was no computers involved. If anyone's tuning in that's had a real estate license for some years, looks like we've got, what is this, Zach ZCF James. Welcome in over on YouTube, tuning in from Central Florida. Yeah, so in Stellar MLS with eXp Realty. That's awesome. If you're a past student of ours too, welcome to anyone who is a past student tuning in. But if you're not a past student, if this is the first time you're seeing anything from Tampa School of Real Estate, welcome. My name is John Charisma. I'm the director of Tampa School of Real Estate. You can find out more info online at tsre.us or speak with one of our advisors. We have licensed sales associates, brokers, instructors, you name it. Our staff is phenomenal here. Call us up, 813-333-2676. You can also text us at that number or visit our website, tsre.us. That's the same website you could drop in your email, and we'll actually give you notifications whenever it is that we go live. But anyways, getting back to the history of the MLS. So it predates the internet, because if you've been doing real estate for some years, say, what's going on, Mike? Good to see you tuning in. If you've been doing real estate for some years, you know, back in, let's say, the 90s, there wasn't an internet MLS. You'd have to get these, and you know, maybe some MLSs were starting to come online because the 90s was the internet was a thing. But before the internet was the mainstream thing, there'd be giant books of listings. This is a textbook for one of our courses here. I wish I had one of these actual books to show you, but it'd literally be like a museum piece because this has been on the internet for so long. Most realtors practicing today didn't know of that previous version of the MLS. But so why did they need these books? Well, obviously we need to know the listings, the properties that are available for sale. But how did real estate work before you knew all of the properties for sale? And what benefit does it give you of knowing those properties for sale? Well, if you've got your buyer paying your commission, well then that's a benefit when you don't have to negotiate commission to be paid by the buyer. You know, in most cases, most real estate transactions, the buyer's commission, a majority, if not all of it, is paid by the seller, and it's pre-negotiated. Technically, it's the buyer's money paying that commission, so it's paid by somebody. It's the seller authorizing it, but it's the buyer who's willing to put up the money and the seller accepting that price to where all the terms work out. So it's a big complicated thing to where it comes down to it, who really actually pays for this. But the point of it, again, being pre-negotiated is the listing agent. So this multiple listing service, if we think of this just as a database of properties and compare this to things like Zillow or even Realtor.com, you know, Realtor.com, just because of the name Realtor.com does not mean it's the most accurate website that's out there. The most accurate websites you're going to find, well, not even necessarily a broker's website that has an IDX feed to the MLS, but the actual MLS. So as a realtor, as a real estate professional who's a member of the MLS, you have access to one of the most accurate databases of property listings available. And the reason why is there is in strict enforcement of different rules, of different fines if you break these rules and you don't fix things within the grace period. So this information is very, very accurate. And that's one of the immense advantages of the MLS in and of itself. And there's really cool like market reports. I know that's one of the things you see in the screenshot right up here. You can see at the top where it says market reports. We've got different financing capabilities. There's all these external things, these extra tools that they've got in there. They're actually just doing a Facebook Live themselves earlier, Stellar MLS, on the down payment assistance programs. There's a tool in there that helps you find whatever down payment assistance programs are available for specific properties. So when you're a real estate professional actually practicing real estate, this is really an essential suite of tools by joining the MLS. Because again, you become a subscriber to this multiple listing service. Because going back again to the history, going back to what I talked about earlier about electricity and when this all started, is before there was any idea or any early version of an MLS, if you wanted to be a real estate professional, you didn't even need a license. If you wanted to do real estate, if you wanted that to be your trade, your job back in like the late 1800s, you'd go around and you would convince somebody to list their house with you, and you'd sit there and hold open houses every single day until you get the house sold. Because it was your job to sell that house and nobody else's. And why would anybody else bring somebody a buyer? It's your listing. You have to find the buyer. That's how the world worked back then, and that's how a lot of people think real estate works today, but that's not the case because of the MLS. And this was actually back the late 1800s, turn of the century, where the first agreements being made between cooperating brokerages where, let's say I went and I got a listing, but I'm sick of just sitting there holding open house after open house after open house. And my buddy who also does real estate said he has a buyer, and he propositioned me that we would split the commission. And I don't know about that because this is my livelihood, but I sure am sick of sitting this open house. And so this is the early beginnings of the MLS. Brokers agreeing to cooperate. The listing agent agreeing to share their commission with a cooperating agent that brings the buyer. And now this is the standard way this works. It's like 99% of homes get sold through some MLS system. And it's so powerful, not only because it's getting an accurate database, but because of those compensation agreements that already pre-exist in there. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of the background of why the MLS exists. A lot of people just think of it as a database of property, a super accurate database of property, but it's really so much more than that. It's a suite of tools that you're subscribing to, but primarily the biggest thing is those pre-negotiated commission agreements. So we're going to dive deeper into the actual MLS here. I'm going to actually log into this, and so that way you guys can take a look at this. And if you don't have access to the MLS, you'll be able to see just as not even just a realtor, an actual managing broker of what an MLS actually looks like. So stick with us. My name is John Carissimo. You're watching State of Real Estate.
The most powerful tool to study for your real estate exam is the Question Simulator from Tampa School of Real Estate. We've used our years of experience in preparing students for the Florida real estate exam to bring you the most powerful exam study tool available. In the Question Simulator, you'll be able to go directly to a particular unit so you can focus on the sections where you need the most practice. We have also included the percentages of each unit so you know which units are the most important for your real estate exam. Every question will immediately give you detailed feedback, which is almost always more important than the question or the answer themselves. After completing all the questions in a particular unit, you can go through question by question and review any that you've gotten wrong. You could also print out a report at the end of each quiz. The Question Simulator from Tampa School of Real Estate is 100% mobile compatible, so you can practice with test questions anywhere you have your phone with you. Enroll now at questionsimulator.com and get ready to pass your exam.
Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. Thank you everyone tuning in. And Chris, to answer your question, yes, there actually is about to be a live stream pre-licensing broker class on the schedule. If you actually call or message us at that 813-333-2676, they'll be able to get you those details before it even gets posted. I think there's actually a couple of them. We've got an instructor that teaches that broker pre-licensing classes, knows the curriculum inside and out at Sunny Foreman, and she's got some live stream classes she's going to be adding to the schedule this year. I think she's already got the classes. I think they're just being posted. So if you want to get into that class, definitely message us 813-333-2676. Let's dive into the MLS here. So got it loaded up here on the board. This is the actual MLS. So right now we're logged into Stellar MLS. I think I could actually write on this while we're here too. So like I said, I'm a member of several MLSs, and the reason why I'm a member of several different MLSs is because they only cover certain portions of Florida. There is no statewide MLS. Now, Stellar MLS, as well as a couple others, they're in a race to try to become that statewide MLS. But there's a lot of smaller MLSs, especially if you're in one of the areas that isn't covered by Stellar or isn't. There's another big one called the Beaches MLS, and that shares a lot with almost the entire east coast of Florida, from Miami all the way up to about Port St. Lucie. But then Miami also has its own MLS. So there's all different MLSs depending on where it is that you're tuning in from. So if you're anywhere in the Central Florida area, this gives you the access to the largest geographic area, and depending on what's going on in the market, sometimes one of the largest, if not the largest, one of the largest amount of listings that are available. Now in this, primarily this is used to help you search the listings of all the properties that are pre-negotiated. We're going to dive into that, but you could also pull different stats. There's not only the MLS itself, but there's all kinds of connected tools that get you basically any kind of tax data you're looking for on a particular property, whatever property tax info, assessments, all that good stuff, all the public records, super easy to access. This is one of the reasons why, because there's been times since I've gotten my real estate license where I've been busy doing other things where I haven't been actively practicing real estate. And now I'm a managing broker. I don't actively practice real estate myself. But I still have access, not just because I have to have the access because I manage a bunch of agents that do real estate. But even when I wasn't doing that and there was no need for me to actually have the MLS other than access to the data, and I still stayed subscribed to it because I wanted that data. I wanted the stats, I wanted the information, I wanted the easy access, because there's a lot of this tax information that you could find if you know how to work the different county website for whatever county this property is listed in. But if you want quick, easy links, type in the address, there it is. And there's a lot of things in the system that are designed for speed. This is going to be a very introductory compared to what actually exists under the hood for the MLS here. There's so much you can do with it. There's different financing tools in there. It's also where if you get a listing, you don't have to find the buyer yourself. Now, if you find the buyer yourself, that's amazing because you usually get double the commission then. But most homes are sold through the MLS. It's going to get sold faster unless you want to be selling real estate like they did before electricity. You're going to need the help of all the other real estate professionals that have the MLS because they all have maybe as many buyers as you, if not more. Because if they're not actively practicing real estate, there's not a lot of people like myself that would remain subscribed to this MLS for that data access unless they are still somewhat involved in real estate, which I was. The market reports, this ties right in with the stats. There's so much data you could pull out of this system. This external links, if I close out of these little markup things here, we could get back into this. There we go. So these are all different tools that you get access to by joining the MLS, Stellar MLS. So you have the actual MLS, which is what they call Matrix. That's the system we're in right now. But some of the other tools that I use on a very regular basis that are related to this right here, and I don't usually use this menu. So yeah, Remine is one of them. So Remine, that's between this one and there's another one called Realist, which is, where is Realist? Oh, Cloud CMA, that's another one. That's a really great resource. Let's see, Form Simplicity, that does a lot of electronic contracts. You can even do e-signatures with that. I believe there is a separate charge, though, for the e-signatures. I don't know if that's necessarily included. Let's see, where is Realist? Do they not have a link in here for Realist? Might be right in front of me, and I don't even see it. Down payment resource, this is the thing I was talking about earlier that they're doing that live stream on. This is really cool because you just type in the address of a property or an estimated location and it shows you the down payment assistance programs that are available to help buyers. And not even just first-time home buyers. There's a lot of programs depending on where that property is located and the income level of that particular buyer. There's also a lot of training on all this stuff here because it does take some training to understand how to use this tool. This is an extremely powerful tool you'll be subscribing to. So definitely make sure, and really they're actually going to require you to do a couple of trainings before you can even have access to the real MLS. They have a compliance training and just kind of a basic understanding training it is that they do. But let's actually search a property here. Let's say we want to do that. So here at the top of the MLS, we're going to hit search. And there's all kinds of different searches. And you can actually see, so one of the most common ones is going to be residential. But there's all kinds of additional search types that you have. There's residential, there's commercial real estate, commercial leases, businesses. Because if you've already taken a pre-licensing course, let's see if I can make this a little bigger. Yeah, so business opportunities. If you've already taken a pre-licensing course, you know you need a real estate license to sell businesses in Florida. If you're looking for income-producing property, rental properties, that's the income search. You're looking for land, that's the vacant land search. There's a rental search. There's the cross-property search, which is searching all these. If you're looking for a certain agent or an office who's a member of the MLS or a certain team, or you want to see the open houses that are all listed in the MLS, or if you want to see the whole history of the property of when it was listed, when it was taken down, how many days it's been on the market, what its previous pricings were, that property history, it's already on the listing. This is if you just want to search for it directly. And then, of course, you have public records tax searches, and there's just so much data that you'll have access to in here. But we're going to go in and we're going to do a residential detail search. Now, I like the detail version. Number one, because I've been using this system for years, and there's a lot of little tricks when you know how to use it. Like I said, there is a little bit of a learning curve to it. But it's overall pretty basic. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty complicated form here. There's a lot of fields that populate, but this is all criteria. You're not going to find criteria settings on this on any real estate website. Not Zillow, not Realtor.com, not anything. And this isn't even everything. This is why I like the detail search, is you've got all these additional things you could add. Basically, any field in the MLS that's somehow in there, you could search by it. So whatever type of property, however specific that you want to get alerts for, that you want to try to track down, you could dial that in so specifically, so exactly. So there's a lot of potential. We're just going to go back to the detail search here. So this is the main detail search page. Again, you just go residential and detail. Takes you right to this. Now, right up top here, you're going to see these tabs. We're on the criteria page, which is where you dial in all the settings for this search. Once you start putting some settings in, I'm going to show you at the bottom where it's going to estimate how many properties you have. And when you're ready to look at them, you could view them on a map, or you could see line by line or full detailed results. And you just switch back and forth between these tabs to go back to your search and adjust your criteria, or adjust the map area. Or you could even modify your results from the results page. There's so much you can do with this. I know we're not going to get too deep into, we're barely going to touch the tip of the iceberg today compared to what you can do with this. But for anyone who hasn't seen the MLS here, let's get into why this is so exciting. So we want to look for properties that are active, that are on the market. So we've got this first checkbox up here for active. We want that selected. We want properties that are on the market right now. If we want to see what recently sold, we could search for that. We could select how many days, how far back we want to go of sold listings. We could see what listings expired, search that. We could see which ones were leased. We could see which ones are currently pending, off market, canceled. We're going to stick with active because we want to find properties that are available. And there's all these different conditions we could select in here. But look at this. I wanted to scroll down so you could see this. We have over 5,000 properties in here. So we got to narrow this down. There's over 5,000 listings with pre-negotiated agreements in here. And it's way more than 5,000. It's just saying 5,000 plus because that's the highest number it'll show. So let's say we've got a price point in mind. You could do that on basically any site, add in a price point. And let's say we're looking for, let's say 450 to 550. Let's say that's our range. Like I said, there's a little bit of a specificity to the MLS, such as how you're entering this, because it's got this checkbox adding in those zeros. So that's why I'm not including the 100,000s. If I uncheck that, I would have to type in the zeros, but that checkbox saves me 6 key presses there. So again, there's a lot of things for efficiency and speed in here. Let's look how many listings we've got now. We've got 3,000. So we're coming down significantly less, but still 3,000 listings. And we don't want to look at 3,000 listings. So let's say we want to find a property. We're at our New Tampa office on our New Tampa headquarters right now. So we're going to just look by the zip code. We could be way more specific to this, down to the neighborhood, to the street, or anything like that. But let's just start with the zip code here. So this is the zip code of our main administration office for New Tampa here. And yep, we've got that selected there, 33647. So now let's see how many listings we've got. Ooh, 31. You know, that's a lot better. Let's look at the map. So we're going to switch now from the criteria tab to that map tab. So we can look at this on a map, because who doesn't like a map? I like a map. Some people don't. If you don't like a map, then you can just skip right to the results page. There we go. Make that a little smaller. So yeah, you can see all the listings here, map view. You could change around. Maybe you don't like the satellite. Let's make them stand out a little bit more. There we go. Terrain even. It's just map stuff. Nothing too crazy there. But let's say we don't want some of these properties. If we zoom in here on what we're looking at, and we see, you know, our administration office, we're right over in, draw on here. We're right over here in this area. Somewhere, we're actually probably a little closer right down here. I think somewhere in this range is where our administration office is. And if you're familiar with the New Tampa area, this is kind of the main road through the New Tampa area, through New Tampa to Wesley Chapel, connecting to the university area. You've got I-75 there. You got 275 there merging into that. The outlet mall is somewhere like right up here. There's the outlet mall. You've got all the Wiregrass shop, all the booming stuff happening up in Wesley Chapel up there. But one of the things is because this, and this is one of the local knowledge pieces you'd have being in this area, you would know that Bruceby Downs, this main road, is the main way in and out of here. And yeah, if you're way over here, you got Morris Bridge Road, but that's an entirely different area than this. And let's say you don't want to be that close out to Morris Bridge. So we want to search, maybe we want just these properties, or we want to kind of follow along this. And you're like, John, I've done this on websites before. Well, yeah, I'm just basically here to say anything you've done on any sort of website, you could do through the MLS, and you could do a whole lot more. So yeah, let's go in here. Let's draw in a little polygon. Haven't done anything on this board yet for drawing these out. So let's clear these off. There we go. Let's see if I can just do a square at least. There we go. Yeah, don't blame the MLS. This little smart board, it's got some weird technology to it. And we could just draw on additional boxes if necessary. We could kind of make it like it's a freehand. See, we want to include that there. You can draw in whatever shapes you want. Let's try the polygon one. Oh, that's what I was looking for, the polygon. That's the, okay, yeah, this is the one I was looking for. I hit the freehand one by mistake. So yeah, we could do that there just to make sure we get in these properties. And you can put as many shapes in there as necessary. That I don't think you could do on any website where you put in multiple shapes like that. Is that the selling point of the MLS? No, but like I said, they've got all kinds of neat little tricks they programmed in there. So let's take a look at these results here. We could click on those individual properties. Let me actually just hop back to the map here and show you how you could do that. Because if you're more of a visual map person, you might want to just click on these individual properties and then go to that listing right from the map. You've probably seen that before. There's also what's called this single line display right at the top. So this is the link I'm clicking right here, and that takes us to all of this line by line where we could sort, we could maybe figure out some additional criteria we want to add in on here. We could see all the different price points of this here. So everything in our, what was it, 450 to 500 price point. Let's take a look at this one here. Okay, so we've got a listing right here. And whoever this agent is, so I didn't want to make this a critique session, but I can't say nothing when I see this. You guys are better than this. What is that garbage? What do you write, one sentence for your listing description? We're not using this as an example. We might go back to this as a bad example because this is an example of what not to do. You could write a book here. And I'm not saying to write a book because there is actually a character limit to this here, but you got to come up with one or more photos virtually staged. That's a requirement. You get fined if you don't state that in the description, so they have to put that in there. This is a Tampa one-story home, offers a patio and a two-car garage. So this agent is not putting any work into this. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Let's see the photos here. The photos might look decent enough. And look, you guys might think the market's hot right now. The market's really good. And these photos, yeah, this one looks good, but some of them, they're uploaded in a smaller size. Yeah, so, I mean, they're decent photos, so I don't know why the guy, maybe just, or whoever it is, man, I don't know if this is a guy, let's see. Who is our listing agent? Allie Johnston, so I don't, maybe that's not a guy. Oh, Miss Allie. Ah, here we go. This is the reason why. This isn't somebody working for a commission. This isn't somebody trying to do all they can to get the best value for their client. This is somebody trying to get the job done. This is a company trying to get the job done. Just slap it out there. This is the puppy mill of real estate brokerages, and that's why we don't have a listing description in there. No offense to this brokerage, because I think they're a member of the Association of Realtors, and so I'm not supposed to here to say anything bad, but you guys got to do better than this here. If you want to do right by the seller, which the owner is Open Door, so I guess Open Door doesn't care. Open Door's like, yeah, whatever, sell it. Just sell it. It doesn't need a description, but look, you got to train your people better, Open Door. This person's got an Open Door email. I don't know. Open Door just doesn't care. This is why if you've got a seller, if you've got somebody that wants to sell their home and they got an offer from Open Door, this isn't what gets top dollar for your property. Not having a listing description, I mean, the photos look decent enough, but not having a listing description, not having anything to read, not having any keywords for search engines to rank with, I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea. And they've got $530,000, so this isn't like it's a cheap house that they're trying to sell. Let's see when this one went on the market. On market? Come on, guys. Let's see what's been going on here. Let's look at the history. Close this cigarette. This has been on the market since April 19th. That's what this is June 10th. So this is a case study on why this listing has been listed for 2 months and is not sold. So if you're wondering, number one, you got no listing description. So Allie Johnson, if you're tuning in today, get your listing description in there if you want to get this listing sold. This is the pre-negotiated commission. Now, if you've got a buyer that says, hey, I really don't know much about this house. This Allie Johnson, I called her up. She really didn't know what she was talking about. There wasn't even a description on the listing. Can you help me out? If you, as a realtor, so like I said, I'm a managing broker. I don't really practice real estate, but I could if I wanted to. So I could go in here with a client and see, oh, well, Allie doesn't seem to know what she's doing, but at least there's a 2.4% commission where 2.4% of that listed price is going to be your commission. Now, we could see right here the original price and previous price are the same, so they haven't reduced this price. That's another reason why this hasn't sold yet, because if this has been on the market for 2 months, why haven't you reduced the price? Let's look at the history. So this is what's really cool, because this shows the history. This is the history of this listing. So we've got 2015. And we can go back even further. We just got to click some buttons to go back even further into this here. But 2015, this was $225,000, this property. It sold, actually it was listed for $225,000, sold in 2015 for $230,000. And it was listed 5/21, sold June 30th. It transacted in 2015 faster than it sold in 2022. What are they doing wrong? That's what I'm asking. That's what we're trying to find out. That's what we're looking at the data. And that's the great part about this here. There's so much data. I could sit here for days and just go through the MLS and learn and understand the market. And so we could see what actually happened here. So this actually went under contract. Now, properties go under contract quickly. Not so much this one. This isn't fast for this market right now. This is 8 days. 8 days to go from new to be under contract. And we could see that because we went from April 19th to April 27th here. So it went under contract, but then on April 18th, it came back on the market. And they actually decreased it. So actually right now it's at 5/21. So they did decrease it there on June 2nd. Here we are 8 days later, though, it's still active. If you don't want this to happen to your listing, the best advice I can give Allie Johnston right now, if she ever sees this video, go put a listing description in there if you're still trying to sell this listing. Or whatever listing you're trying to sell, don't not put a listing description in here. And this is a whole section here of different realtor remarks that are available. And there's sometimes even here where there's different credits and things like that, especially if you're dealing with bigger, more institutional purchasers like some sort of like Open Door or any sort of home builder. But let's look at something else. Let's look at something that could be good. And now this is much better. Much better. Let's see who's got this listing. Whose listing is this here? We've got Benjamin McCartney from Fox American Realty. And this is paying a 2.5% commission on a $459,000 list price. That's what we're going to see right up here. Let's break down this top part of this. See if I can get the description, because it's a great job on the description. I don't know if this is even that good of a description, but after that last one sentence thing, you're doing a great job. So let's see what else we've got on here. This one just hit the market yesterday. So this is an entirely different ball game. Been on the market 1 day. Listed at $549,900 or $459,900. This is in the Arbor Green community we've got here, and you've got all this different data. You can see how big the actual house is, how much of it is heated, not just garage area, because I mean, there's actually a different section for garage. You can see, in addition to the photo of seeing it's a 2-car garage, if you want to see the specs on it, because sometimes it's not always as obvious with some properties. It's got to have that. It's going to have that right in there of whether or not it has a garage, it's a carport, all that data. The pool, there's no private pool here, and let's say we wanted that. Let's say, well, we're looking at this one here, and this one looks really great. This agent obviously did a great job. Ooh, we got water views. You know what? if there's no water views in New Tampa, I remember we're looking at New Tampa here, so this must be a pond or something. But hey, so water views, that sounds good. People move to Florida for the water. If you don't like water, Florida is probably not your desired state to live in. It's a lot of water here. We've got more coastline than any other state. And I know I've been talking a lot. Let's head back over the chat. Is this helping anyone out here? Is this good information? Do you guys have some comments on any of this stuff here? Let's check in with the chat. Yeah, hopefully I don't get in trouble for talking bad about Open Door. But, I mean, look, guys, you got to do better. And look, you guys are the seller, so it's not even like you're doing bad by the seller because you are your seller. But I don't know why you put something out there with one sentence. I mean, maybe they don't want to make too much money. Maybe that's what it is. Because these are the little things that a knowledgeable professional is going to be able to do that's the difference maker between some listing that's like, okay, puppy mill, let's crank it out, versus somebody who actually took time to understand who the ideal client would be for this particular property and try to create a story that tells the story of this property and how it could be the perfect home for this ideal buyer. So there's so much you could do here. Yeah, and that's another thing, Miosha. So let's actually talk about that if you wanted to schedule a showing here. So let's say you've got a buyer that wants to see this property. You'd go right up here. So this little icon that you're seeing right up at the top, this little, I don't know what you'd call this thing. I call it the showing time logo because that's the company. So this little showing time logo right up at the top here, that's how you'd go about scheduling an appointment to see this property here. And it's going to have whatever instructions that are set up by that listing agent here. So you'd go through select a buyer and you could actually skip this step and it'll go right to the scheduler to where you could go through and actually set up a listing for this buyer. And good, it doesn't look like there's this is still the form on here. Got to make sure we're not showing anything we're not allowed to show on this because you're supposed to be a member to be able to access all this information. But hopefully this is helping you understand. I know the MLS, they do like some live stuff and whatnot, but they're not talking to regular everyday people. If anyone on here tuning in doesn't have a real estate license yet, you're probably not following Stellar MLS on Facebook. So I'm helping them sell courses. So don't send me complaints about me posting the MLS stuff, showing that online here. Send me the checks for all the new subscribers. Going to say, wow, this is how realtors do it. That makes sense now. Because if you don't understand how you get paid, why would you want to start a business if you don't understand how you're going to make money with it? So this is how you make money with buyers. Most commissions are paid through a pre-negotiated agreement by the listing agent here. And any other questions anyone has about this or anything you want to see? Glad this is definitely helping you out. Yeah, let's keep going. But let's say we wanted a pool. That's one of the things I didn't like about this one. I want a pool. It's Florida. If you've got somebody coming from out of state, somebody that's trying to, have a permanent vacation lifestyle, I mean, that's kind of what everyone wants to a certain degree moving to Florida. We like that kind of vacation life. Also, take note of the tax-free holiday coming up it's like the first week of July here in Florida for like annual passes to theme parks, any sort of recreational activities or equipment or vehicles or sports. Check the conditions online, but there's some tax-free weekend that's like that first week of July or something like that. So check that out because if you're looking to get like annual passes to any theme parks or any of the fun stuff, and look, if you're a realtor, this is a great opportunity to showcase the lifestyle of living in Florida. There's so many fun, cool, interesting things that you showcase. Those people are going to contact you about how do I live here? And how do I have a pool? I want a pool. And I don't want a community pool because I don't want to swim in other people's pee. So I want a private pool. You can select that right in there. Private pool. Ooh, we're down to 6 properties now. Let's see what properties have a private pool in this area that we've selected. We still got our map areas all dialed in. I'll pop that over here so you can see that. So we still have our map areas selected where it's limiting to just that kind of middle area. So here's, the Open Door listing has a pool. So it's even got a pool and it still hasn't sold, but we've roasted them enough. Let's move on. Move on from the Tampa School of Real Estate. Look, another one. Another one-sentence listing. This isn't even an Open Door listing. Come on, Bruce. What you doing there? Large, roomy two-story. I mean, at least he's saying something about the property. The open door one really didn't say much. Large, roomy two-story house with the master bedroom on the first floor, sliding pocket doors to pool, oversized screened-in pool on the cul-de-sac. This one's been on the market for 16 days. I mean, I think if you had a better description, the photos also do kind of look a little dark. A professional photographer could adjust the lighting and everything like that when they're taking the photos so it doesn't look quite this dark. Let's see what else here. Oh, yeah. And this is the difference between a realtor who might try to go above and beyond versus a realtor that's just like, yeah, just take the picture. I don't know, throw some shock in the pool. The little like things of shock. And yeah, I mean, the pool might be green when it goes to show, but that pool doesn't have to be permanently green. Look, I'm not saying here to say, because, you know, there are some things that could be like illegal, like if you're hiding material defects. That's not what I'm talking about. This is like the equivalent of mowing the lawn. And you might say, well, do I need to mow the lawn? No, but if you've got a listing that's got a green pool with tall grass, it's going to be more difficult to sell. Maybe you know how to throw some shock in a pool, a little bag of pool shock. Make sure the seller's okay with it because you don't want to mess up their pool and do things like that. Maybe you just talk to the seller, hey, look, it would really help us out a lot if we got a pool person out here. It's going to cost maybe $100, $150. You might not know how to throw shock in a pool, or you might not want to mess it up. You might want to not be liable for that. Be careful which hat you're wearing. Remember, you're a realtor, not anything else. So, yeah, maybe suggest that to them. But, I mean, have the conversation. Have some sort of plan. Don't put a listing on the MLS. Don't go out there. This is not your best look. That's why this is 16 days on the market. There's people that see this and, ooh, gross. It's even worse on this angle. Yeah, let's throw another picture of a green pool in there. Yeah, I mean, the property definitely needs some work. Okay, I mean, I guess. I don't know what this is a picture of. I do know what it is a picture of, but I don't know why it's in here. Oh. And again, one of the things you want to do as a realtor is try to control situations as much as possible. There's way too much clutter in this photo. And this could be a difficult conversation to have with sellers when there's a lot of stuff going on in the photo, when there's a lot of stuff. And yeah, you could just take the picture and move on, or you could give your client some advance notice. You could say something like, hey, here's a sheet of tips to make sure your house is photo ready. Make sure the pool is not green. Make sure the grass is mowed. Make sure you declutter as much as possible. Ideally, we want nothing on counters. Nothing. Keyword nothing. Because even if you say nothing, they're still going to have stuff. This might be nothing to somebody. You might have somebody that says, no, I cleaned it all off. This is clean. This is nothing. Can't imagine what it would look like if this is nothing, but maybe the conversation wasn't had. I don't know. I don't want to throw whoever this was under the bus on this here because maybe they tried. And sometimes you just have difficult sellers. And you know what? You got to do the best you could do. And you know what? Especially in this market, this house is going to sell. Might take a little bit longer, might not sell for the top dollar that it could, but it still will sell at the right price. I mean, there's some stains on the carpet and whatnot. So, I mean, you got to... Yeah, I mean, they could have, I mean, really? Come on. You couldn't just hook those? You couldn't just, is that too much? I guess so. Maybe I just have an eye for that. I don't know. I've been doing real estate for a while. I've had a real estate license for quite some time, so I don't know. Maybe this just comes with the experience. But I feel like I could have spotted some of these things on day one. And another example, again, declutter. And this could be something whoever's taking the photo should be doing. If you're paying a professional photographer, they will probably do this for you. They'll kick those shoes out of the way. Somebody should have kicked those shoes out of the way. All these shoes down here, and you know why? Why else do you not want shoes in a photo? Does anybody know why you wouldn't want shoes or any sort of personal effects in the photo? And if anything, for anyone who might not have a license yet, or maybe somebody who has a license and you're like, I don't know if I could beat out the competition, this is your competition, guys. These are your competition. The real estate can be very easy, and it can be done very well very easily, or it could be very unwell very easily. But the reason why you wouldn't want shoes or family photos or anything like that in your photos is because it personalizes the house. It shows, oh, look, there's the family shoes. This is who lives there. This is their shoes. And now this person looking at this property is looking at somebody else's house, not theirs. Not their potential house, but someone else's house, because there are their shoes. Whoever lived there, it makes you feel like you're Goldilocks in somebody else's house and the big bad bears are going to come. That's a story we're taught when we're little, and it makes us, anxious when we feel like we're in somebody else's house without their permission. This is just some photo we found on the internet here. I mean, really, you couldn't take the clothes down. At this point, I don't know if I need to keep circling. I mean, maybe the dirty tissue on the nightstand, that's kind of gross, and the fact that the bed is still, like, just all disheveled. What else we've got going on here? The photos are crooked, among other things. And you know what? Maybe the seller just gave the realtor the photos and said, here, use these photos. Don't come in my house. Don't let anybody... Maybe you've got somebody who is being completely unreasonable and you're trying to work with them, which if that's the case, I understand. Getting a lot of clutter. Oh, there's the agent. Nope, there he is right there. Well, whoever it is taking it. There we are. There's our guy, it looks like. It's almost like, what is that, like some sort of alien sighting? Because you shouldn't be in your photos. That's actually a rule. You're not supposed to be in your photos. This is actually against the MLS rules. Let me get out of here before we get you in trouble. You're not supposed to be in your photos. Now, obviously, that's an accident because you can't, like, have a selfie of you in there like, hey, look at this. But that's basically what that is there when you're in the mirror. And it's not a good look because, again, talk about personalizing. Oh, wait a minute. Is that a ghost? Does the weird guy in the mirror come with the property? I don't know. Yeah, again, could have cleared off the table maybe. And that's that. So, yeah. If you think you could do a better job than that, you could probably command a higher commission. You could probably win more listings. Ooh, let's see. I got to find a good one in here. Let's see. Ooh, here we go. Location. Let's see. Is this this one's not too bad looking. Let's pull up these photos, see how these ones look here. They're a little small, so the resolution, I wish they were higher. These are probably cell phone photos that have been texted or something, but this one looks, the house is in much better condition. This is photo ready, but these are cell phone pictures. These are cell phone pictures. I could tell immediately. These are cell phone pictures because they're dark. They're very flat. They don't have much depth to them. They're not well lit. The lighting is bad. There's lots of shadows. There's no lights on in there. The windows are over blasted out. Let's see. You know, I think we've got to change our criteria. We've got to find some agents that are going to be trying harder. And you better be trying harder if we up this price point. So let's see what we've got above $800,000. Now all of a sudden the photos are looking a little bit nicer. Wow. Look at the difference with a photo like that. I don't even know whose listing this is yet, but wow. These are professional photos. I can tell you this is the difference between what we were just looking at were cell phone photos. This is somebody hiring a professional photographer to take these photos. Look at that pool. Now, when we talk about make this your permanent vacation, was it the green pool that's going to make it your permanent vacation, or was it this crystal clear blue waters with this lush green landscape? And part of this is the settings in your camera that'll make this look washed out and unsaturated. And if you don't know how to tweak those settings just right for real estate, you might be a photographer, but if you don't shoot real estate, you don't know the tricks that real estate photographers do. So I'm all for using a professional, especially for things like this. Now, even this photo right here, you might think this looks really well, but it's got a lot of clutter on it. I will say there's a lot of stuff going on the coffee table. I probably would have cleared out the coffee table a little bit. Those shelves there have a lot of stuff going on. That's me, but it's not too bad. That's me being nitpicky at this point. But when I talk about decluttering, that's what I mean. Very nice landscaping, great curb appeal. I mean, a lot of stuff going on here. This person's very well-to-do, but again, personalization. We don't want to see all these awards in here because that makes it look like, that's somebody else. But not the worst thing. Diplomas on the wall, maybe. I don't know. This is much more generic. This makes nice. The gray colors are also very generic. Those tend to command a high price. The teals are also popular. I don't know about the bags hanging up because that is kind of messy looking to me. That bench there is kind of messy. I see the shoes sticking out of the bottom. But overall, this is a much better set of photos here. I mean, really, some of the photos are absolutely beautiful. It's got a great kitchen on this property. So, and this is what people first look at. I mean, now I'm switching more like buyer mode, where I'm like, let's see the photos, because that's what they want to look at. And that's why those agents who didn't write a listing agreement or write a listing description, they don't think people are reading these. But people are reading these, especially Google. If you want your listings to rank in Google, you want to have keywords in here. Let's see if we can find the keywords in this search in this description. Exquisite, that's a good word. I'm going to underline anything that's a good word that really sells the house or is good for search engine optimization. So welcome to this exquisite 5-bedroom, 4.5-bedroom executive home. People are searching executive homes in Google. I guarantee you that's why that agent put this in here. In the heart of one of Tampa's most desirable neighborhoods. Tampa, desirable neighborhood. Move-in ready. Magazine-worthy residence has everything you want and more. Sweeping brickwork driveway. Wow, this person, already, we're 2 lines in. Fantastic job writing a description. This is probably going to get the award for best one yet. We just needed to up the price point a little bit to see where the good agents are focusing their efforts, and apparently it's the $800,000 plus price point. To 2 separate garages. Eye-catching entryway. Soaring foyer with stunning architectural details, a formal dining room with an open plan, a decorative coffered ceiling, and perfect for entertaining. That's something people want to hear as well. Enormous gourmet kitchen feature. I'm just going to underline the whole thing at this point. Let's just read through it so you guys can actually read this without all my lines I'm drawing on this here. But great job. I love this description. This is absolutely perfect. Formal dining room with vast open plan. Great room with a decorative coffered ceiling are perfect for entertaining. The enormous gourmet kitchen features a walk-in pantry, new stainless steel appliances, granite countertops, glass-fronted custom cabinetry, and bespoke tile backsplash. 4 immense sliding glass panels lead out to a private screened-in lanai with a full outdoor kitchen, hot tub, sparkling waterfall pool. That picture was sparkling, by the way, as well, where you can enjoy quality time with family and friends against a backdrop of breathtaking conservation views. Oh my God, I love this description. A downstairs guest suite bonus room offers a convenient poolside bath with double sinks and an oversized walk-in shower. Head upstairs to the loft, pre-plumbed for a wet... I'm getting goosebumps as I read this, guys. Pre-plumbed for a wet bar and ready for surround sound of your favorite gaming system. Each spacious bedroom is freshly painted and boasts plenty of storage and loads of natural light. You'll adore the master suite sanctuary with vaulted ceilings, custom tile work, and a spa-like bath with a garden-soaking tub. This energy-efficient and immaculate property also features 2 AC units, alarm system, a luxe laundry room, and home office. Convenient to country club-style Live Oak Community Clubhouse, golf, world-class shopping, and the area's best schools. This amazing family home won't be on the market for more than a moment. Call to schedule your private tour today. I'm sold. I'm sold. I want to move into this house now. After seeing those photos and reading that description, I'm hyped up. I'm excited. And imagine if I really was looking for a house like this. I'm just excited they wrote the description. This is textbook how you should write a listing description. I don't know if we looked, if we'd be able to find a better example today on this live stream. And let's see how much you're going to get paid if you sell this. The listing agent did the work to really showcase this property best as they can. Good job, Amber Rutherford and Brooke Boyette. Looks like this is some sort of team listing coming from Keller Williams. 2.5% commission it is that they're paying. So 2.5% on $925,000, which, let's do the math on that, what that commission would be. So you sell this property, this $925,000 house, and it's a 2.5% commission. Gross commission is $23,125. Now, usually there's some sort of MLS fee they have on there, which you have $300, so minus $300. So this would be the gross commission coming into your office, almost $23,000 if you bring a buyer to this property, and they end up being the one that buys this property. $23,000, and you don't have to negotiate that $23,000 commission. It's pre-negotiated for you. You just have to bring the buyer. If one of your buyers see these photos and reads this description, and they contact you, it doesn't matter, it's not your listing. You could set up a showing from here. You could find all the details. Look, they've even got the attachments in here. So this is for things like your seller's property disclosure. That's very important. This is what tells you about all the problems of the property. You have, so this must have an HOA. We've got declarations and different HOA rules that are in here. There's a CDD, a community development district. So there's that addendum. There's the HOA association. A lot of times you might even see offer instructions in here. And if they don't put offer instructions in there, that's typically going to be found in the realtor remarks at the bottom of the page, just like where you're going to find the commission. So the MLS, I mean, there's so much data in there. Look, this is how hard some of the agents are. Let's take a look at another one, because I know we've only found one really, really good. And here's another good one. Wow. I can tell right away. Come and experience luxury at its finest. So see, the agents that have taken the classes, the agents that have learned how to do this right, are the ones that are winning the multi-million-dollar listings. And if you're not going to take the time to become a listing expert, somebody with this much real estate to sell won't trust you to sell the real estate if you're going to make one sentence. This house deserves more than one sentence, and that's why they wrote a really good listing description here. I'm not going to read through this one for the sake of time, but we can tell. Amazing. Let's see what else we got. All right, so here we've got a little bit shorter. Here's your opportunity to bring this home back to its glory days. I mean, you couldn't have thought of anything to lead off better than that. Let's take a look.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Yeah, I don't get it either, Siri. I mean, this is a beautiful looking house. Bring it back to its glory days? Like, I mean, it's maybe not everybody's style, but this is exquisite. I would say this is exquisite. Maybe not in everybody's taste, but why would you say this needs TLC? I don't know. Let me know on Facebook. What do you guys think? Does this kitchen obviously need some TLC? Is this a disgusting kitchen that you couldn't bear living in? I mean, look at that. The ovens are white. White ovens? Disgusting. We can't live there. This house needs some TLC. The ovens are white. Oh, I'm having too much fun with this today. This is the house that needs some TLC? Come on, what are you doing? I mean, yeah, they want $2.5 million for it. But that's not how I would describe that property. Ooh, this one, I like this photo. This is what they call a Twilight Photo. A Twilight Photo is really nice because what happens in a Twilight Photo, and this is something I doubt you'll be able to do this on your own, or at least do it well. You're probably going to need a professional. Because what they do essentially is they make all of the actual house part. This is very dark, which brings out the details. But if you want the dark details, this is all going to look super white. Remember that one photo we saw with the window where it was just, you couldn't see anything through the window. It's just this big glaring bright spot. That's what this picture would look like if the photo was exposed to make this dark, all this detail here. So this is a composite photo. That's what a Twilight Photo is. It's a composite photo where they composite layer a low exposure, or I might be getting the terms wrong, I'm not a photographer, but they're layering together these different photos to make a composite photo that's really going to show this more like our eye can see. I'm wearing glasses here, but our eyes are in many ways superior to most cameras. Our eyes are superior to most cameras, which is why most photos don't look as good as what we actually see. But by compositing these photos together, you can make this Twilight type of photo where all it is just the color. It's bringing out the colors in this. You got a beautiful sky. You've got nice detail in the actual property here. Great looking pool. More Twilight out there. You can see they even did that right here. I mean, and maybe because you could also shoot at what they call the Twilight Hour. And then you have to do, it's even more complicated at that point. But that might be what this is here, because this is pretty complicated for as much as they've got going on. So this looks great. I mean, doesn't that just look like paradise to you? And this is an amazing opportunity. There we go. This is way better. I don't know why that other agent started with, yeah, I need some TLC. You want to get this Disgusto listing right here? It's going to need some TLC. Yeah, we want $2.5 million for it, but ugh, I don't like it. Come on, guys. And this is, so, I mean, again, even in these higher price listings here, there's a lot of opportunity that you might already see. That's all you got to do to be a realtor? I think I could beat that. And this one doesn't have the most detail. It's not the best compared to some other ones, but this is still a pretty strong one. An amazing opportunity to own the coveted Cachet Isle and Koi-like Isles. I mean, that sounds good. I mean, there's good photos in there. Let's see, we've got on a commission. This one, 3% commission. So let's see what the commission is. Now, this is only $1.5 million. I say only $1.5 million. But let's see what a 3% commission is going to be on this $1.5 million. $45,000. That's pre-negotiated for you. Now, there is going to be a split with your broker, depending on whether you're with a 100% broker, and there's also like that $300 or $400 MLS fee that this listing would have. The listing brokerage ultimately determines some sort of MLS fee, and most listings in the MLS, you'll see where it's a commission minus some sort of MLS fee there. So $44,700 or whatever that would come out to be, you'd split that with your broker. Maybe your broker gets 20, 30, 40% of that, and you get the rest of it. Maybe you get 100% of it if you're a 100% broker. So look, I know we've been going for a while today, so hopefully this has got you guys some good information here. Hopefully if you're already an agent actually doing listings, you've got some good tips to help you, be a better listing agent, be able to do a better job listing properties for sale, to be able to have a listing that really truly showcases the property in its best perspective, in its best light. Especially when we're taking photos, we want it in its best light. That's that twilight hour. That's a really great light for your property. So there's so many things, but you got to learn. There's a cheesy saying, learners are earners. And as cheesy and corny and cliche as that may be, it is absolutely true. Because if you don't know what you're doing, it's going to be very difficult to earn the money. If you want to find out how to get started, how to take your business to the next level, if you haven't done post-licensing yet, that dives a lot deeper into a lot more of the real-world stuff. If you haven't even gotten your real estate license yet, call us, 813-333-2676. We've got the pre-licensing course, the post-licensing, all the exam prep tool to get your exam passed. We do have some in-person broker licensing classes on the schedule. We do have a live stream one that's going to be added probably today, if not within the next couple of days. Call us up if you want to get enrolled into that before we've got that on the website for the broker pre-licensing. And we also have a self-guided course for that. We've got all this information at tsre.us. So you go right in your web browser, tsre.us, or if the .us freaks you out, just go to tampaschool.com. It'll take you to the same place. Drop your email on that website, and we'll send you notifications whenever it is that we have a live stream like this to help you better understand real estate and grow your real estate business. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in today, and hopefully this has helped you better understand what the MLS is, how you could use it for your business, what it is that you're actually paying for when you're considering joining the Realtors and subscribing to the MLS. And again, that big thing is those pre-negotiated commission agreements, and there's thousands of them in there. And if you've got a listing, you could be the one making those commission agreements, posting these listings, and then sitting back and waiting for another agent to list that sells your listing. And you probably shouldn't sit back and wait, because if you could find the buyer, you get that other side of the commission as well. But if you can't track down the buyer and someone else has got a buyer for you, at least you're getting the closing. Because who knows how long it would really take you to find that buyer 100% on your own. That's why the MLS is such a big thing today. It allows the real estate market to transact at a much higher frequency. So look, that's all the time we've got for today. We've actually gone over quite a bit, but I've been having fun today. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. If you guys want to see more episodes like this about the MLS, about more of the real world tools and the real world side of being a realtor, let us know. Drop it in the comments. And of course, if you want to speak to one of our advisors one-to-one to find out more about getting your real estate license, completing the post-licensing, call us 813-333-2676. Again, that's 813-333-2676. One of our licensed advisors will be able to help you understand what real estate is, how it could potentially work for you. Maybe you want to get started just earning referrals. You're not ready to get into all the MLS and full-on practicing real estate, but maybe you just want to refer this to an agent who does practice real estate and earn maybe a 25% or whatever you negotiate as a referral fee. So they get that $45,000 commission, 25% of that. Let's pull the calculator back up so we can run that math real quick. This $45,000 commission that we just calculated, let's say this was a referral and there was a 25% referral agreement. So for the referral of this lead that buys or sells this property that would end up being a $45,000 commission with a 25% referral fee is an $11,000 referral fee. $11,000 for the referral of this lead potentially, depending on what that commission agreement is that you have. But 25% is a pretty typical referral fee. So there's so many opportunities in real estate. If you want to find out more, again, Visit us online at tampaschool.com or call us 813-333-2676. That's about all the time we've got for today. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back next week. So you just got your real estate license. How can you jumpstart your real estate business? The number one thing you should do before you do anything else is post-licensing. Now look, this is already a requirement, so you're gonna have to do it anyways, but here's why you wanna do it early. The sooner you do post-licensing, the sooner you're gonna learn the real world concepts in post-licensing that will help you create a business plan, that'll help you plan for your success in real estate. Post-licensing is all about real world topics that are usable, that'll help you grow your real estate business. And at Tampa School of Real Estate, we have the best post-licensing courses around. Find out more about how post-licensing can help you jumpstart your real estate career. Go to postflorida.com. Are you studying for your Florida real estate exam? If you are, you need to check out our Pass First Try strategy. You're gonna love this. It's 4 steps that we break down the process to study for your Florida real estate exam. So you're set up to pass your Florida real estate exam because that's what you're studying for, right? To pass your exam. It's 4 steps. Number 1, you learn the information. You've got to learn this to be able to pass the exam, but it doesn't stop at learning. Step 2, you've got to reinforce the basic, simple, key concepts. As you learn this information, keep reviewing the simple things. You don't need to know everything, but you got to review these basic key concepts. Step 3, you've got to test your knowledge. The exam's going to test your knowledge, so if you don't test your knowledge in advance, you won't find out if you know what you think you know until you take the exam. And then step 4 is be confident and prepared, because even if you know this material, you need to be confident that you know the material. Check out the full strategy at passfirsttry.com. That's passfirsttry.com.
If you're looking to get in on the real estate action that's going on in Tampa right now, we're who you need to talk to. We can help you get your real estate license, start your real estate career. We're here to assist you for the life of your real estate career. Give us a call. Phone number is 813-928-0106, or check us out online at tampaschool.com. Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate.